Welcome back. Glad to see you today. And today, let's just have some fun. Let's just do a quick little painting here that'll make you happy in here. I'm gonna start out with a little tiny bit of phthalo blue. And we'll just beat it right into this large brush and start right up in here and just sort of vary this. Just work it around. Want to leave some light areas in the sky. Don't want to kill all the light areas. Just work it around. There we go. And let's see. That'll give us enough to start with. And while I've got this on the brush, add a little bit more of the blue and a tiny, tiny little bit of phthalo green. Not much, not much. It's very strong. Just a little bit. And we'll just come from out here like that. And just very quickly drop in some what'll eventually be water. There we go. Now we can wash this old brush. Get off the excess paint thinner. And cover the studio. Okay. Now, with a clean, dry brush, we're just going to gently blend this out. Just blend it out. Just have fun, enjoy. Don't try to kill all these little white areas. They end up making things happen in the sky. You don't end up with a sky that looks like you pulled the window shade down at night. Some action in it. Little things that are happening. Okay, there we are. Super nice, quick little way to make a happy little sky. I'm going to take some Prussian blue and alizarin crimson. Now the Prussian blue is 100 times stronger than the crimson, so use very little blue and quite a bit of crimson. And if you want to test it, take a little white and put somewhere else and pull a little bit of the color and put it into it. That's really about the only way you can tell exactly what you have. This just looks black, it's so dark. Okay, so that's about what I'm looking for. So now we'll use the fan brush, put a little bit of the color in here, very little, very little. I want a very soft little painting today. And let's just go right up in here and just put us just a little basic mountain shape. Just however you want it. Just let it sort of go off into nothing over here. And we'll gently pull some of that down. Just a very basic shape. We're not looking for detail in this mountain. In our other series, we've really put a lot of detail into mountains, and this time, thought we'd do other things. We've done a lot of buildings in this series. Gonna do some more before it's over with. Okay, now with a large brush, just gonna grab a hole and pull it down. Just like so. Don't spend a lot of time worrying about it. This is just a little mountain that's way back in the distance. There. See how easy that is? Now maybe there's one a little closer. Maybe just like a little foothill or something. And maybe it's just like this. And we want it to be a little darker. A little bit darker. So I'm going to add a little more paint into this one. As these things get closer to you, allow them to get darker. That helps create distance in your painting. Okay, now very gently, we'll just pull this one. There we are. Okay. And you can move this paint all over the canvas. The magic white's underneath. It allows the paint to slide. And that quick, we have two very nice ranges of hills in the background here. Okay. Now the only thing that separates these two is the light area in between and the difference in value. This one's much darker than the one that's far away, so it creates the illusion of distance already. Okay, let's take a little bit of sap green and throw it right into this purple color we have. So we have sap green, a little bit of blue, and alizarin crimson. There. Just put it all together. This should be predominantly green. Okay. Now then, let's just take the 1-inch brush and load it full of paint. Let's pull it through the paint, put a lot of paint into the bristles. A lot of paint. Maybe we'll lighten that a tiny bit. I want to add the least little amount of white to it, just to lighten it up a little. A little bit of white. Don't get carried away. Got a lot of paint in the bristles. Now, let's go right up in here and we'll put some little distant trees back. There they are. Let the brush work. Let the brush work. Just far away little trees. And you can put as many trees in your world as you want, so just let them happen. Let them happen. Don't worry about them. Enjoy, have fun. There we go. See how easy it is to make little distant trees? It really gives the illusion of trees that are far, far away. Over here, I want them just to sort of fade out. I want this whole side of this painting just sort of to fade out into nothing. Just indications. Okay. Now we can take the large brush and very gently lift upward, just to create a little bit of mist down at the bottom. Just a little bit of mist. Now we know there's going to be some water back here, so we can begin working on some reflections and just begin pulling a little bit of this down. Not much at this time, just a little bit. Not going to worry about it right now. Now, I'm going to go right into this is sap green, alizarin crimson, and Prussian blue. We just mix it right here on the brush. And maybe, here's a tree, lives right there. There he is. And we're just putting in some basic shapes. Maybe he's got a friend that lives right along here. And all kind of little things are happening all down in this area. Just let them happen. I want this to get very light over here, just sort of disappear. Maybe there's another little tree here, a little bush or tree. You have to make these decisions, what you want it to be. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of this color. It's a very brownish looking color, and just wipe a little bit of it like this. Just a little bit of it. Just pull it across. And with my large brush, pull it on out a little. I want it to go right into the water. There we are. I want this water to have a brownish hue to it up close to the land, like you can see some of the land through the water. Good. Okay, a little bit more of the sap green, alizarin crimson, Prussian blue. I put the blue in to make it much darker, much stronger. The blue is so, so strong. And maybe right over here, ooh, there's an almighty tree, a super big tree. It lives right here. So we'll just have some fun with him. There we go. And all I'm doing is just putting in the dark so the light will show. Sort of think of it as painting the back of the tree, and then we'll paint the center of the tree, which is the trunk. And then we'll do the front of the tree, which is the highlight. Okay, now, there's all kinds of little things living back in here. Just make up little dreams in your mind and put them on canvas. Okay. Now let's go take a little titanium white, some Van Dyke brown, a little bit of the umber, burnt umber. There. Put a touch of blue into it to gray it. Just a little bit of blue. Some brown, white, touch of blue. That grays it down very nice. Now we're ready. Now we can begin laying in some nice little land areas back in here. Just drop them in. See, by not overmixing your paint, all these beautiful colors happen automatically. If you mix it till it's dead, then you only have one color. Here we have a multitude of little colors happening. There we go. And back in here. Just want this to slowly just disappear right on into nothing. And let's go right into a little bit of Van Dyke brown and burnt umber. And up in here, we'll make this darker. Much darker, right up through here. Van Dyke brown and just a touch of umber. There you go. Then we can sort of just gently bring these together. Let a little of the highlight go up on the dark, a little bit of the dark come down into this lighter color. There. Okay, now we're ready to start doing some playing back here. Let's put some little trunks in these trees. We'll just take the palette knife with a little brown on it, drop some in. Wherever you think there should be a trunk, that's where you ought to be. Just drop it in. Okay. A little bit of brown and white for highlight. Keep these quite subdued. They're far away. We don't want them too bright yet. Okay, now, in my mind, I'm going to give this tree here a shot of vitamins and make him grow a little. See how you can make a tree grow? Just want him to be a little stronger. Okay, now we can start highlighting some of these. And now I'm going to take a little bit of the paint thinner into the brush, a little bit of yellow, making a very thin paint here, very thin. Yellow and sap green. Very thin. Thin paint will stick to a thick paint, so you need to start with a very thick paint so you can put this thin paint over the top of it. And let's just do this. Just touch. And let's begin highlighting some of these little trees. Just let it drop right off the brush. There we go. Maybe we'll add a tiny bit of ochre to it just to change the color, yellow ochre. And we'll put some highlights right up here on this little tree. There. And while we got the brush going here, maybe we'll just get right over in here and we'll drop some happy little things on top of this one too. Just sort of let them happen. Some down in here, a little bit darker because they're a little bit lower. Maybe not as much light's going to strike down there. There. Just let these little things fall right out of your brush. Over just want them to sort of disappear right off into nothing. And let's go right up in here. There's another one. And let them come right down into the land. All kinds of little ferns and things that are growing. This sort of reminds me of some of the little coves that you find on the coast of Oregon. You have all the beautiful greenery. Good gosh, there's so many, many beautiful, beautiful areas. Oregon is probably one of my favorite states. It reminds me a great deal of my home in Alaska. You have the beautiful mountains and some of the fantastic scenery. There we go. Okay, I think maybe we better put us a tree trunk in there. And let's have a big old tree. Just comes right up through here. There. Van Dyke brown. Just let this tree just wander around. And we can put some little limbs all out here in the tree. A lot of these will be covered up, but some of them will show it. It'll make your tree much, much more interesting if you can see some of these. Just here and there. And at home, where you have unlimited time, you can just put all kinds of detail. And let's drop a little highlight right here on the trunk, just so it stands out nice. This is just a little brown and white. And right on up into the limbs. There they go. Just here and there. Okay, now, let's add some nice leaves to this tree. Maybe we'll start with a dark green, sap green. The paint is very thin. And we can begin just dropping some leaves right out here. Very thin paint sticking to that thick paint that's underneath. All we're doing is just touching the canvas. This brush is a little bit different than the ones we've normally been using. It's round, so it makes all these beautiful little round shapes. And we just let them drop right off there. You know, in each series, I try to introduce something new to you that you haven't seen before, just to keep you excited and to keep you interested. In this series, we've introduced the magic black, which does fantastic things. I think we had a super time with it. Okay, now we'll take a lighter green, add some cad yellow to it, and I'm gonna come back and put another little highlight up here. Maybe even a little bit lighter than that yet. So just add a little more yellow. Oh yeah, now that stands out beautifully. Just want enough difference in color so it stands out, and then highlight these individual little things in the tree. There they are. All kinds of little things happening out here. And work with some basic patterns in the tree. Don't just hit it random. Think about it. Think about how limbs are projecting out here toward you. And they have shape and form, and they're different than limbs that are going out the side. Look at trees. Spend some time, just sit out in the yard or something one day and sit and look at trees. There we go. Just a few more and we'll have this old big tree all finished here. And we can put some little things down in here. Now, let's get out here and play with the water a little bit. We'll take a little bit of magic white and a little bit of the firm white. Put the magic white in just to thin it a little. And we can begin coming right in here. Putting some water right up to the land. With the old fan brush, it's very simple. You can do it in just a matter of seconds. Fan brush is a super, super brush. You have to make friends with it, though. It takes a little while. It's not the easiest brush in the world to master. But once you do, oh my gosh, what you can do with it. What you can do with it. Entire paintings can be done very easily with just a fan brush. There. Just put some little indications here and there. Okay, now we can get crazy. Let's take some brown, Van Dyke brown, a little bit of burnt umber in it. Not much, just a little umber. Just a little bit of umber. And maybe we'll come right there. Just drop in some color. Don't be afraid of it, just throw it in. There. A little bit more. Need the dark in order for the light to show. So all we're doing here, just adding some dark. Let's just let this come all the way across. What the heck? What the heck? This is our world, so we can do what we want to. Okay, maybe you have a happy little tree that lives right here. So we put some dark in. Same colors of dark, just there's one. I see one right there. Right there. All we're doing is just laying in some dark. Not really worried about shape or form yet. And we can take a little bit of the highlight color and very lightly just touch and pull. This is brown and white, burnt umber. Very gently just pull. Like so. Yeah, we can come back and begin laying in all kinds of little things happening all over here. Need something a little lighter. It's not going to show right there, so we'll just, there. That's what I was looking for. Knew it was in there. We just had to find it. Maybe there's just all kinds of little things growing right along in here. Just drop them in. Put a little highlight on them. Just nice, soft, little fern-looking things. There we go. Isn't that fantastic? Now, next week, we're going to do I tell you what, let's do next week. Let's do the little painting that we animated at the beginning of the show, the little lighthouse. So have a black canvas ready. We'll do a black one next week. There we go, a few little highlights right up in here. Just drop them on. Let them go. And sort of layer these. It'll give distance to your painting. All kinds of little things happening. Wherever you think they should be, that's where they should be. Like so. And we can take the knife and just here and there, gently scrape in a few little sticks and twigs. And they can be all over. Just wherever you think there should be a little twig showing here and there, just drop it in. And all I'm doing is using the point of the knife, cutting right through the paint, and allowing a little bit of the canvas to show through. We're not really putting any color on the canvas. There. Just like that. Maybe right up in here. couple over in this area that you can see in the background. And let's take right in here, maybe just add a little tiny bit more that's growing right down, almost at ground level, like so. There. Okay, I think we have a painting that's about ready for a signature. So let's take the liner brush, a little bit of the thin oil, and I'll go right into some permanent red. That's sort of my color for signatures. And we'll just drop a little signature right there, like so. And as I say, next week, have your black canvas ready, and we'll do that little lighthouse. That's such a fun painting. I think you'll really enjoy it. There we go. Signed, sealed, and delivered. And the old clock on the wall tells me I got to get out of here and leave you for this week. We're looking forward to seeing you again. Happy painting. Bye-bye.